Hey y'all, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Mallory and this is Johnston Farms. I'm really glad you're here hanging out with me this evening while I figure out what I'm going to cook my family for dinner. I don't really have a plan and I never really do. I'm just gonna wing it and just see what happens. I'll tell you what I do along the way. So now I'm going to get my apron on, pull my hair back, pour a drink, and get started. Okay, so I'm gonna get down here so I can talk to y'all. I'm going to start out by peeling, cubing, and roasting butternut squash. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 because if we have leftovers, I'll just save them for another meal this week. These are the Honeynut Squash, Honeynut Butternut Squash, and I will put the exact kind as to what they are on the screen. I'm gonna use a chicken breast, and what I think I'm gonna do is butterfly it and just pretty much cut it in half almost to the very edge and open it like a book, clean off the fat and pound it out to where it's as flat as possible. That will make it really easy to cook quickly. And I think I'm gonna bread it, I'm not really sure yet. Just an onion that I'm going to cut up and roast with the butternut squash. I think I'm going to just put the roasted butternut squash and the chicken on some greens. I have some, let's see, kale, spinach, collard greens, several greens in the fridge that I would like to use. So I'm gonna get started on that. Isn't this the cutest cup? This is not sponsored, but I will leave the link to this local company that makes the cutest stuff. Love it. If you're not into spicy foods, you can definitely omit the pepper flakes. I'm going to get this in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes before checking and tossing. Then they'll go in for an additional 15 to 20 minutes. Once my vegetables are in the oven, I'm going to clean, butterfly, and flatten my chicken breast to about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. If you have a cutting board that tends to slip, you really want to take the time to place a wet paper towel or something thin like a rubber shelf liner that will grip the board and your countertop. My chicken is thinner, and I'm going to do a quick dredging station of seasoned breadcrumbs, eggs, and lightly seasoned flour. The breadcrumbs I'm using are pre-seasoned, but I like to add it for extra flavor. While the vegetables are in the oven, I will cook the chicken in about 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm looking for a dark golden brown, which takes me about 4 to 6 minutes on each side. While the chicken is cooking on the first side, I'm starting about 5 eggs to boil. I'm placing my eggs in a cold pan, and I'm adding room temperature water. Once the water comes to a boil, I turn it way down to a low simmer and start my timer for 10 minutes. Once the timer goes off, I shock them by placing them in an ice water bath to immediately stop the cooking. At this point, I have cooked the chicken and it is off to the side resting. The squash is out and resting, and my eggs are still boiling. Can we just take a second to appreciate the beauty of roasted vegetables? Now I'm going to prepare the greens for the salad. Tonight I'm using Swiss chard, spinach, and kale. I'm going to strip the soft greens from the ribs, which is the tough part of the stem. When eating greens, you can keep the ribs and chop and cook them down if you're cooking greens low and slow. But when you're eating them fresh, it's best to discard the ribs because they're quite tough and bitter. I've torn the greens in more manageable, bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to rinse and spin them. I ended up doing this about 3 or 4 times to make sure they were nice and clean. Now that my greens are pretty dry, I'm drizzling a little bit of olive oil over them and I'm going to massage them really well. I know you probably think I'm crazy, but it really helps to massage your greens, especially kale, because it makes it more tender and easier to digest. If I had a lemon on hand, I would add a squeeze of lemon when adding the olive oil. I'm sliding the greens to the side so I can chop a handful of walnuts. When I'm building a salad, I really like to think of the textures along with flavor. The crunch of the walnuts will add a nice touch along with nutrients. Now, all that is left is peeling the boiled eggs and assembling the salad. My favorite part of any meal is plating. Even for moments like this, when it's a simple salad, presenting my family with something beautiful and delicious is completely worth any time and effort it might take. I hope you'll give this a try, and if you do, I hope you enjoy the process and the outcome. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button.